This is what, chapter 3, yeah?
Chapter 3, the Tuff story.
Yeah, tough story. That's some real ass. So I ain't gonna lie. It's been good. Like my partner Renee's like, yo, you gotta keep doing the stories. Like so. The last time I left off, it was just how all the details were coming together from like the roads and stuff for that, right? Like being on the bus and just kicking it, you know. So now, like the further along the story, it's I was just chilling in my new office, as in the basement, right? And basically the basement again, as I said, my couch was like, because we used to always have like a fight club, you know what I'm saying? Okay. Like, so cats came from all over the city, so it was like the most entertaining spot. But if I knew then what I know now, would be a different story, because I would be charging people, you know what I'm saying, as in payment of a friggin' fight, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, like, you had all kind of folks there, man. It was just a great time, people drinking 40 ounces and passing out and just, you know. But so I had to convert my couch, you know what I'm saying, like into like my office space, because we're in the basement. And yeah, we, you know, like the plan was like all the way at a label. Again, as I say, I wasn't rapping like the illest rapper or anything at all. I wasn't even really doing any rapping, more than just like getting business things together, because that's what I always have been, right? Before I expanded and like, I mean, like, you know, like I've always been singing, you know, since I was 5 years old. That's the first thing. That's my. I can tell a singer from a mile away. Anything to do with vocals, all that, right? But it's because I started in that structure from 5, right? Yeah. So like entering the rap game, it's a whole different thing. So now, like things are getting crazy. People are coming to check me out. We're in the basement chit-chatting, trying to figure out what we gonna do to expand this, because like my couch is repped. My mom don't believe in anything that we're doing. Yeah, she's like, yo, you kids, you guys are just finding excuses so you can hang out more, right? Yeah. I was like, no, we're actually working here. We're trying to get some things together, right? So after that, like the goal was, I wanted to create a studio, and me and my other partners, like we spoke about it, but again, like we didn't have like the supply at the time what we wanted. You know what I mean? We young, we basically just don't know. So I'm making phone calls, to Universal. I remember, I don't know if you all remember when Columbia House was there. You know what I'm saying? Columbia House ruined a lot of guys' credit. Yeah. so you know what I'm saying? So I'm making phone calls to Sony Canada, you know, like Universal Canada, and all these like other branches based in the dot, you know, like in TO for some of you all. So at the end of the day, like, you know, I mean, like, these guys are hearing me talking, and I'm like, hey, could I speak with the woman that's in charge of the urban department? And that's my high-pitched voice. Again, we're kids, so I have a high-pitched voice, and like, I could hear these guys in the background, like, who the hell is this kid, right? Like, Alberta at that time was known strictly for country music, and, you know, putting out some rock music, and a lot of legendary artists that came and glory, like, did great things for the world, left Alberta without, you know what I mean, like looking back, you know. And so a lot of people didn't expect that Alberta had different craft, as in hip hop or singing and stuff like that, right? So I kept on bugging them, and, you know, like asking them how we can get music to them, like and basically making like them understanding like what we're going through and all that stuff. And they're laughing at us because they thought, hey, there's got to be a joke, there's got to be a prank, right? So we didn't have like a solid core of artists at the time, like not at all, because again, we're just coming into like the step of all that part, and we're all kids. So some guys were beatboxing. I remember some girls beatbox also, and, you know, we took it from there. So a year passed or so. So now, you know, one's getting more deep voice, you know what I'm saying? I'm getting my Barry White voice on,
Hey.
you know, and you know, people are coming to us, and you know, like me and my other partner, we're doing for certain things, and you know, long story short, like the homie got tied up in a few strokes, you know what I mean, because the system wasn't for me, you know, and they were out to get us because they did not really understand what's going down, you know. Went away for a moment, I should say a long little moment, you know what I mean, like, you know, went away, but the man, like, it being like, as a man with a plan, my partners are still, you know, me taking care of what was needed to be done, and it gave me time to kind of construct what was needed for the whole situation of what we had to get done, right? So based on that, I went, you know, went up to the big times and did my thing, came back, and I'm like, you know what, the first album that we released, right, the first album that we released was Way Streets. And I remember my man Eddie, like Bosnian Eddie, shout out to the kid, like like Eddie was like, yo, like this guy got love handles when we're shooting the picture, because it's like an ill graffiti wall. JP was on it, Mr. Brownskin, MTL, what up? Like so it was like. It was great because we were all like youngsters, man. We didn't know what was going to come out of this album, but I'm telling you, I was like straight angry with the system, angry with what had just occurred, angry with myself. You know what I mean? Like my moms were crying before when they came to lock me up. You know what I'm saying? So I was straight angry with the whole layout of the situation, right? But a man got to be a man at some point. A man got to grow up, right? So, like, I'm on that journey in there. I met some solid cats, you know what I mean? Like, while I'm doing my bid, you know, shout out to the folks that's doing theirs, you know, keep your head up. So, we riding through it, came back, I dropped that album, and, you know, like my neighborhood, the big DU, had my back. I'm telling you, they had my back. Everybody through the Edmonton housing were pumping the album. You know what I'm saying? So we had boxes of this album, and they were selling. You know, like youngsters were buying them, bringing them to school, you know, like from junior high school, all that. And it was just straight, grimy, angry album, right? And when I brought it to like CJ Sar back in the day, that's when CJ Sar was really CJ Sar. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of the homies would be riding, and you know, there was no bounce, there was no virgin, there was none of that stuff, right? Like there was absolutely none. CJ Sar and like the oldie station, you know, like that was what was popping at the time. Shout out to my man Manny, cause like Manny's all about the oldies, you know what I'm saying? So this guy would be singing oldies, and I was like, what the hell, you know what I mean? Like we jamming to this. And CJ Sar, the homies, like, I mean, we used to call that straight up DJ Roach in the Roach Motel. Remember that?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Teddy, you know, all these, like, some of the originals in there. And we used to call it and, like, request the album over and over, right? Like, yo, we want to hear that Waves. We want to hear this, like, you know, and we put it crazily and, like, the album did well, so I went down there for an interview, and at this time, I think it was that boy from the west side, Olo Maverick, was doing his thing, and we went up in there and like Click, you know what I'm saying? Click was the head of Universal Canada at the time, right? Universal Urban Canada, and I remember like he was in town because he's from out here, and I gave him the album, right? And he listened to it, you know, and I'm fucking king shit at this time, you know what I mean? I'm feeling great, you know, like we sold over 700 copies, feeling good, you know, like, and feeling blessed. My neighborhood had me, and then my man, like, Click straight up told me, but he's like, yo, whose album is this? And I'm like, yo, my album. And he's like, yo, that album sucked, retire. Stop rapping, right? And I was like, oh my God, like what the fuck, right? But on some real, that was the best advice I've ever got, right? When it comes, because what it did for me, it helps to inspire me even more. And he is a heavyweight in the Canadian game, in the music game overall. And he took a listen to it and tell me what I needed to do in that sense. But what I was explaining to him was like, I was writing rhymes in my head. And because like I wasn't used to the way that the layout is, some of the tracks was bangers, while a lot of them suck. And I know that, but my people just happy because they showed nothing but love for me, right? So I'm like, wait, and you're gonna see it. He's like, no, we're tired, you know what I mean? Like, that ain't cool. So anyway, long story short, like a couple weeks later, one of my youngsters came through and brought one of my next little neighbors, you know what I'm saying? And at that point, like, became Reason. I named Reason for the reason because I'm the Ways, you know what I'm saying? My man Dale, you know what I mean? Like he was like he was a different cat, Legacy, and you know, like Reason was just like the reason because you have the Ways and the Reason, but he was the reason why we were going to jump off, because the kid had skills and he would practice retardedly, you know what I'm saying? But people always mistake Reason for, when they hear his music, for a Spanish girl. But here's a Ukrainian Russian cat that's like born in my neighborhood, but so like he was strongly influenced by reggae and all of like the West Indian Central Americans. So you know what I mean? So when he started spitting, it was a whole different thing, and the man had skills for days. Like that. So the next time I'm gonna continue from that on. Thank you very much.
Reason, I remember that. I remember Reason.
That is on paper, brother.
He was.
That's the second album off the label.
Yeah. Energy like that. What happened to Reason?
Oh man, Reason, he's doing a lot of things. He went back to school, like, and he's just expanding his cranium and just expanding his craft, man. So he's a global man. Like one of my partners seen him not too long ago, and you know what I mean, like it's nothing but love and blessing, man. Like we always hold it down for each other, right?
It's all good.
Okay, that's what it comes down to. Okay.